Hello students, today we will discuss our next topic of module 3, that is layout and formats of a business letter. Layouts or formats of a business letter. With this topic we will cover today the types of business letters. Okay, so generally the business letters are written in 4 formats, and suitable and correct layout enhances the overall effectiveness of any letter. The layout helps to arrange all the elements of an official letter in an organized manner. Although the basic parts of letter have remained the same for centuries, the layouts do change. Sometimes a company adopts a certain format as its policy. Sometimes the individual letter writer is allowed to choose the format most appropriate for a given letter or to settle on a personal performance. But in general, 4 major letter layouts are commonly used, which are block layout, modified block layout, semi-block layout, simplified layout. So generally, a business letter can be written in these formats. So before knowing the exact format of all these 4, we must know the basic elements of a business letter, that how many contents it has. So as you are seeing that there are four types of formats in which we can write down a business letter. So first we must know that what are the contents of a business letter. So generally we have one important content, that is writer's address. Number 2, date. Number 3, inside address. Salutation. Subject line. Main body of the letter. Complimentary clause. So generally these are the basic contents which a letter needs. If we will talk about a writer's address, it means the person who is writing a letter, first he need to give his or her address. Date. Date is the second content of any business letter, and it is very important. Inside address. Inside address means the address which comes on the page to whom you are writing a letter. You need to give his or her address to. Why we say it inside address? Because the same address is given on the envelope also. So that is known as outside address, and when we write down the same address in the letter, that is known inside address. Salutation. Salutation means the words like dear sir, respected sir, ma'am, etc. So the words like addressing words, dear sir, sir. Subject line, which focuses on the main topic of discussion in your letter. The topic of the letter. Main body of the letter. So generally it is considered that a letter is divided into 3 parts, 3 paras generally, minimum. Introductory para, main discussion, concluding para. Complementary clause. Complementary clause, this content includes the words like faithfully yours, yours faithfully, yours sincerely, cordially, truly, okay. So these words are known as complementary clause. And this closing also includes some other and very important contents like your name in bracket, and just above your name you give your signature, and below your name you need to give your designation. So this is the compulsory element in a letter, and there are some optional elements also, like a subject line is a content or element which is given only if it is needed. Enclosure. Enclosure means extra document attached with your letter. Means if there is some extra attachment, so if needed, enclosure can't be given in all the letters. It is given only if there is an attachment with your main letter. So you can give that information in the main letter, and you can also write down the name of the document. Enclosure colon name of the document. Write down name of the document attached with your letter. It may be a price list in business letters. It may be a price list. It may be a CV if you are writing down a job letter. It may be any carbon copy, C copy of the same document to be sent to another person to whom you are writing also. So these are the contents of a business letter. There is also one more optional element in the beginning, that is a reference number. Reference number. Reference number is actually a document number. Suppose you are writing a letter to the purchaser, and in this way, if you are going to be a regular person who writes a letter to the customer and the customer writes a letter to the seller, okay, so when this work come in a routine, so you need to have a record of that document. So a record demands the number of the document. How you will manage the documents in a file? So you just give a number to that letter. So this document number may include the things like the name of the department, letter number, date or year, etc. So a reference number is an optional element, and it is generally given to those type of documents which are in the routine work. Yes, so these are the contents of a business letter, and on the basis of these contents we frame these layouts. So now we will begin to understand that what are the differences among these four formats: block layout, modified block, semi block, simplified layout. Okay, so to understand all these formats we have taken just a text, and you will see there the different types of layouts so that you can understand in a better way. So students, you see this example, I have taken the text and you can see very well the full example of this full block format. See here, full block means fully blocked. You can't see space before any content in this letter. Okay, all the contents are fully flushed with this margin. So if we are giving no margin before the contents written, it is known as fully blocked format. So you can see in this format that all the contents are flushed to the left hand side. Every content, no content is written to right hand side, nothing is there. Your address, writer's address, the first content, it is blocked. This is also known as head of the page or heading of the page. Why? Because it comes at the top of the page. Agla content, next content, date. Next, inside address, to whom you are writing. All the contents are flushed to the page. Nothing is written to the right hand side. Salutation, main para, introductory para. Then discussion, second para. Concluding para. And complimentary close, sincerely yours. Complimentary close, sincerely yours. And you can see here name of the person who is writing, signature and block, you can see, enclosure, copy of cancel check. So in full block format you are noticing one thing, that everything is written to the left hand side in the fully flushed way. There is no margin left before starting any of the content. So this is full block format. Okay, next is modified block format. Modified block format. So when you understood full block format, you have noticed one thing, that every content was flushed to the left hand side here. But there are some changes in modified format from that of full block format. In modified format, you are noticing the place of the contents. Your address is written in the middle of the page. Date in the middle of the page. Third content, writer's address or reader's address, is flushed to the left hand side. Salutation, left hand side. And paragraphs 1, 2, 3 flushed to the left hand side. And finally you will see that complimentary close, name, signature, etc. are written in the middle of the page. So four things you are noticing here, that your address, date, complimentary close, and final closing like your name and signature and designation will come in the middle of the page, and enclosure again will come to the left hand side. So modified block layout is different from full block layout in four contents, that your address, date, complementary clause, name, signature, etc. will take place in the middle of the page. And one more noticeable thing which you are seeing, that before beginning a paragraph, we are not leaving any space here. We are starting from the same space from where you are starting other contents. So from the same space we are starting the first para, from the same space we are starting the second para, and the same thing we are doing here in the last. So this is modified block format. The next format, which is semi-block format, semi-block layout. Semi-block means it is not fully blocked. Why? Because here we are leaving some space before starting our paragraphs. You can see the first para, it has some space, 2 or 3 spaces when we started our first para. The same thing we are doing here in the next para, that we are leaving few spaces before starting the second para. And finally in the end, when we are writing down the concluding para, it has some space. So this space is making this style as semi-block, not fully blocked. So this format is known as semi-block format, and you can see the placement of the contents like your address, date, inside address, salutation, paragraphs, and closing. Your address is in the middle of the page, date is in the middle of the page, reader's address, left hand side, salutation, left hand side. Paragraphs are having one difference from other formats, like it is showing that there is a difference, like it is not starting from the same space. From you can see that writer has written dear sir or dear ma'am from the same space, but while starting the paragraphs he has left some space. Second para also have some space before it has been started, and the same thing is with the last para. And the other contents like closing, your name and designation, etc. in the middle of the page, and finally enclosure at the same place. You can see the space here. Okay, so this is semi-block format. And the last format, that is simplified format. Simplified, which is really very simple, and it can be compared with the full block format because we have given no extra space before starting the contents, and there is no need to move from left hand side to right hand side to write down some other contents. So all the contents are written to the left hand side. Your address, date, reader's address, paragraphs, complementary clause, your name and designation, and enclosure, everything is flushed to the left hand side. So it can be compared with the full block format. So these are the different formats you need to learn to write down a letter in the different formats. Now we will understand the different types of business letters. Sales letters, credit letters, enquiry letters, quotation, and replies. Letters of order, letter of complaint, letters of adjustment. Okay, so here we will learn about sales letter, credit letters, letters of inquiry, letters of quotation, and their replies. Letters of order, letters of complaints, letters of adjustments. One by one we will understand their meaning. If we will talk about this first one, a sales letter, it is generally written to sell the products. It is written to sell the product. And it is generally written to convert its readers into potential customers. So these are efficient means of marketing your products or services. So we can say that a sell letter is the source of marketing, advertisement, etc. And it must be written in such a way so that it can convert its readers into potential customers. It must convert its readers into potential customers. And a sale letter means, because we want to sell something, so we are writing a sale letter, so it must be written in a very polite language, very persuasive, reader oriented, and goal oriented. Next is credit. Credit letters. Credit means that you pay later for what you buy now. The rule of a credit letter means buy now and pay later. So credit means that you pay later for what you purchase now. So means that you are buying something today and now, but you are promising to pay it later. It helps a retailer to stock the goods and make payment after the sale is over. These are written in these formats, like a credit letter can be written request for credit, inquiry into the status, letter refusing credit, and letter accepting credit. So credit, as you know, that we buy something today, but we promise to the second person that we will pay in future when the sales will be over. So it can be written in 4 formats. The first letter is written in the form of a request to the second person, that you are requesting just because you want some money and you want to start your business or you want to start your work, but because you have no ready money, so you are promising that you will pay in future, and you are just borrowing some money, or you are taking some loan from the bank authority or some other person. Yes, and after this request, the second type of letter will be inquiry into your status. The person to whom you are requesting, he will definitely make an inquiry that how you will pay in future. Suppose you are getting loss in your business, or you are failed in your work, so how you will pay? So you need to show some proofs that you have this much of money in different forms. It may be a land or jewelry, it may be your house, or anything it may be, which you can replace at the place of money when you need to pay it in future. And after that inquiry, there may be 2 types again. refusing or accepting. The second party can refuse you to give loan or money, or it may accept your request. It can be satisfied or can give you the money. So you can start your work on credit. So credit letter can be written in these forms. Next is inquiry letter. As the word is self-reflecting its meaning, to inquire something. So, an inquiry letter is generally written by the customer who is in need to purchase something. And it is very obvious with you all people too that when you go to purchase something in the market, you just inquire it to different shops without purchasing it at the first. So what you do, you just go to different shops and you see the prices, their brands, you see the guarantee, you see the colors and design, everything you just see, and you then compare it. And whatever you think what is best for you, cheap and best, you just purchase it. So inquiry letter is written to know everything about the product, like its price, quality, quantity, designs, guarantee, terms and conditions, etc. So, an inquiry letter is written to inquire into the market, to compare the things from other products in the market. An inquiry can be written in two forms: solicited inquiry to unsolicited. A letter written after reading an advertisement of a product is solicited. Solicited means if you are responding somebody after getting a request. So when you get an advertisement, when you saw an advertisement and you just go to purchase it, you are writing down that I want to purchase this thing. This will be a solicited. So a letter written after reading or watching an advertisement of a product is solicited. Unsolicited, a letter written without getting more information about any product, to know about any information of a product and other market related or business related issues. So a letter written without getting more information about any product and other market related issues. So solicited, when we see an advertisement, we read about a product and we just purchase it, we write down a purchase letter. So it is inquiry letter. Solicited inquiry, when we see the information and again we want to know something more. An unsolicited letter, like you have seen here, or we have discussed here, that a letter written without getting any more information about the product or business related issue. So these are written in two forms, and the next is letter of quotation. Letter of quotation, a letter which generally quotes or writes prices, quantity, quality of the items, etc. It is generally demanded by a buyer from a supplier, and therefore the supplier should quote everything correctly. It is generally asked by the buyer. Okay. To whom? It is from the side of the buyer. Okay. Or from the purchaser. So, it must quote every detail of the product very clearly. The next type, letter of order. Order means placing an order. An order is a request for something to be purchased, supplied, and some companies have their own printed forms for placing orders. It should include the complete description of the goods required. Letter of order means when you want to purchase something, you just write down the letter of order. Okay. And in the market there are some companies or some shopkeepers also, they have their own printed letter format. Like we fill a form having different parts and subparts with their headings. So in the same way, a letter of order can also have a certain fixed format, and the writer will just fill the things in that. Like we can see that this letter can have some tables like this inserted in it, like serial number, yes, items, quantity, rate, yes. And in the same way, we can add here any number of columns according to the need. So serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, list of items like pen, paper, pencil, yes, staplers, etc. Quantity 10, 20, 100, 50. Rate, the given rates. So a letter of order may have this type of fixed format. So some companies or business organizers like to have the fixed formats, and they can also draw it by their own hand. Okay. Another is letter of complaint. As the word it reflecting its meaning itself, that the cause for complaint may be lots of reasons. It is written when you are not satisfied with the company's product or service. So, a complaint letter must be written with courtesy, clarity, and conciseness. While complaining, you don't need to be more aggressive. It is written for any of the reasons, like billing errors, damaged products, and wrong goods, wrong quantity, wrong quality, late supply, wrong terms and conditions, yes, so any of the matter may be for complaint. But one thing to be noticed, that never write a complaint letter aggressively. Write it with courtesy, politely, clearly, directly, etc. So be very polite while writing down a complaint letter. And one point is very much important, that a complaint letter must be written at once. Because delay makes the things more complicated for the supplier. So complaints must be done at the same time, because if you are late while complaining for the product, anybody can forget it and nobody will give you the correct replacement of the damaged product. So a complaint must be made at once, because delay makes the things very difficult for the supplier. So when you will write down the letter of complaint, in response of that complaint letter, you will receive a letter of adjustment. The next is a letter of adjustment. It is written in response of a complaint letter. It is written to reply a claim letter or complaint letter, and it generally follows the following objectives. Number 1, to satisfy your customer. Number 2, to safeguard the reputation of your organization. So see here, when you will write down a letter of adjustment to the person who has complained for something, okay, so what is your duty here? You have to satisfy your customer anyhow, because you want that your customer shouldn't stop their purchasings. So how you will satisfy that person? So don't be too much aggressive while replying. Be polite, be humble, be clear, because you want your customers to be regular at your shop or at your company. Another thing, it's your duty to save the reputation of your shop, to safeguard the reputation of your company. So how can you save it? Be very careful for further times not to make any wrong thing with the purchaser. See your product properly. Convince your customer by giving lots of substitutions in place of the wrong things done by you. So try to maintain the reputation of your shop and company. Be very clear, be very direct, and be very sincere. So sincerity is very important thing. Sincerity towards your customers. Be very clear while selling the product. Clarity about rate, quality, etc. Okay students, so today we have learnt about the different formats of a business letter. What are the basic contents, what are the optional contents, and what are the types of business letters, what are their definitions, why we need to write them, the types of letters, sale letter, credit letter, enquiry, quotation, order, complaints, etc. and their types also.